Okay, working properly. Great. So for Bitcoin, we've got two possible scenarios here. The first one is if something crazy happens and the bulls take over in an immediate way, we need to see a break above this 21K. If you break it upward, then the bulls will take over and we'll be expecting a further bullish movement from here. Meanwhile, of course, we are bearish and we are expecting the price to trade inside what? A channel, exactly, because now our today's topic is about channels. And I picked it today's in a specific manner because we've got so many channels and you can see it all over the place. Basically, because on USDT dominance, you can see a channel that we already saw on H4, right? So this is it, and of course, like obviously, the entire market follows USD dominance or at least Bitcoin, and you can see a bigger channel here from daily time frame and a smaller channel here from from H4 time frame. Okay. Anyway, let's do our analysis first. We can see that we are bearish. We broke below the 18K. We might be retesting this 18K, but as I mentioned multiple times previously during the previous sessions, the 18K is a resistance zone. Okay, so even if you trade higher, expect price or the 18K to push it back in. Okay, unless the 18K is broken upward, in this case, we'll be expecting further bullish movement to the 20K. Okay, but price can still kick it down. Okay, for the bulls to take over, we need to see, as I showed you from daily and weekly time frame, a break above this last major high, which is for now this high here from daily time frame, which is around this blue zone. Okay, so for the bulls to take over from long-term perspective, we need to see this or a new high to form like this and then a break above this high. Okay, so this is basically what we're waiting for from a long-term perspective. For now, we are stuck inside a big range, which I showed you also last week. We've got this horizontal range like this, support here, resistance there, and we are currently where around the resistance zone. Even if you go a little bit higher, we'll be facing this trend line. Okay, for the push to take over here and to be able to push till the 18K, we need to see a daily or at least H4 candle close above this resistance. If we close above it, then we'll be expecting further bullish movement till the 18K, and the resistance is starting from this area here. Okay, so from the 700 till around the 18K, and we also got a supply zone here. So we've got too many things that might push like Bitcoin lower. Meanwhile, we are here inside this range. As we approach the lower band, we'll be looking for buy setups, and in a specific manner now, as we trade lower, if we trade lower, we've got this support and resistance, as you can clearly see here, also lining up with these previous ones. As we trade lower, we have a channel, right? And the channel is bullish. We have our impulse, correction, impulse, and we might have a correction. In this case, around this lower area, we'll be looking for, sorry, let me go back to H4 for buy setups right here. If you zoom into H1 time frame, okay, so like these are the drawings from last week. The bears took over here, the bulls took over again here, and like for now here, I don't really have a major low or high. For example, this is a major low. This is a major high, but like like for now, I don't really have a major one. If we trade higher from here and form a major low, breaking downward, then we'll be expecting this movement. Okay, so like for now, this swing is sorry, is still forming. So let's see how it goes. Of course, we have a minor low like being broken downward, but let's see how it goes. Keep in mind that this is a resistance zone. Even if we go a little bit higher, we'll be facing this resistance unless we break it in an aggressive manner, at least from H4. In this case, we'll be expecting further bullish movement. So this is basically the situation, and you can see that almost all altcoins are currently sitting around a resistance zone or a major high, right? If you go to daily time frame to Ethereum, we can see that we are also retesting this resistance zone. Previously, a massive resistance turned support, turned resistance again. So we're expecting a bearish movement from here unless we see an aggressive break above the zone. And by aggressive, I mean a break above these wicks like this. Okay, or let me give you an example like this. Okay, so it was a resistance, then price broke it upward in an aggressive manner. Okay, and or like this, an aggressive manner, then now it's a resistance and it keep on pushing the price lower. If you go to H4 time frame, very similar channel that we saw on Bitcoin. Previously we were bearish, now we are bullish, right? So this is the power of channels. It will help you feel the price action more. And this is a very good example on Ethereum because we are catching both ways inside channels. Previously, the overall bias were bearish, and simply because we drew this trend line, let me show you. You know what? Let me get back them and delete everything to show you this example. So simply by drawing this upper trend line connecting these highs, okay, you can see it. That's it. And I made an offset for it. I could speculate that we might be rejecting or price might find support around this lower bound of this trend line. Okay, this is it. I connected these highs, made an offset lower till this lowest point of these three highs, which is here, made an offset, and then I could speculate that we might find rejection when price retested. So we might retest it like this. In this case, it would be here. Okay, so this is why, because it's a falling support and resistance, it happens to be lining up with what? With this low right here. Okay, so this is why this was a massive zone, a massive support zone. Anyway, let's get back our drawings, and that's it. Here we go. Okay, so we are currently here unless we see an aggressive break like this above these wicks, above in an aggressive manner. In this case, we'll be expecting further bullish movement till the 1500, which is the supply zone here, previous support and resistance, and it's also an event area because FTX crashed right here, right? So the 1500 is a massive resistance zone. For now, we are bullish, but we might have a correction before the bulls break above this zone again. I would think about bearish divergence in H4. Yes, we do have a bearish divergence, but of course, of course, for the bears to take over, we need to see extra confirmation. Like for the bears to take over, we need to see a low getting broken downward. For example, let me show you on H1. Okay, so on H1, we've got this minor low right here. So at least for the bears to show some strength, we need to see a break below it. And anyway, that's why you see my alert right here. Okay, so if we see this break, then we'll be expecting a short-term bearish movement, just like this, for example, inside this this channel. Okay, so very similar to this, bulls took over, bears took over, and then the bulls took over again, the bears took over, the bulls took over, and now we don't have a low getting broken downward. So we are technically now bullish from a medium-term perspective and bullish from a short-term perspective until the bears take over again. In this case, we'll be inside a correction very similar to this one. We'll be expecting a movement till this trend line again, where we'll be looking for a similar pattern, just like this one. Okay, that's it. Now let me check. Okay, let's go for NWC first, and then I'll go over the ones that you requested. But before I forget, let me add them to my list. So NWC TEL, this is it. Let me check. Okay, DEGO. I'm not sure if I have DEGO on my chart on my watch list. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't. Let me add both. Maybe I have drawings on one of them. Okay, I don't. Okay. Oh yeah, I had drawings here on Binance ticker on. Okay. Ishanna, hope you're doing good. Okay, so I have it on my Binance one. So anyway, like I don't really have much. I had this this level previously, which wasn't broken. This zone, sorry. That's you know what? Let's extend it to see maybe it would be helpful. Okay, or you know what? Let's do it from scratch. Okay, so this is for DEGO. Let me drag it up there below TEL. Okay, and this is where is that? Here we go. Next, we've got someone requested, yeah, Doge, Crypto Lamp, or I guess Doge, we already have it, so let's search for it. Okay, fantastic. Below DEGO. Next, we've got Reef and ICX. Okay, I guess Reef, we have it somewhere here because like we did it last week. Yeah, that's it. So Reef and ICX, I don't have it. I don't think we have it, so let's search for it. USDT. Let me check if I have drawings on it. Okay, so it's also old, but like I have some alerts. Good. So, but like the drawings are like for this layout, no drawings. Let's delete it and drag it up till around this upper area. So what I'll go for first NWC, and then I'll go over these ones that you requested, and then I'll try to cover as many as possible. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's them do them quickly to save time and to cover as many as possible. Okay, this one shouldn't appear on daily. So like this one's we drew from last week, and that's here. Okay, NWC approaching this major low, currently inside the consolidation, as you clearly see. So obviously, we'll be waiting for the bulls to take over by breaking above this upper bound. I have already my alert here. I have my already alert as well up there, which is a support and resistance, as you see here in green, previously a support, now resistance, now a resistance. Okay, so for the boost takeover from a short-term perspective, I want a break above this zone and then a break above this one for the boost to remain in control and take over from a medium-term perspective. Of course, then we've got this resistance, and last but not least, from a long-term perspective, from bearish to bullish like this, we need to see a break above 0.2. But first, let's take it step by step. I want to break above this high first. Next on TEL, we had this zone in green. Okay, broke it upward. We had an aggressive retest due to FTX, and then the boost took over slowly again. We are currently around the 0.003, which is, if you zoom out, has been expected here, and also has been expected previously, which is this major high right here. So for the boost to take over from a long-term perspective, I'm still waiting for this break above the 0.003. Meanwhile, yes, we are bullish. We might have slight correction movements downward before we trade higher again. If you go to H4, let me see. We had this channel previously. Let me update it now to follow the price action more. Okay, so we'll be bullish as long as we are trading inside this channel. We might be rejecting these highs and kick higher. If we break below this low, then we'll be expecting a deeper correction movement, and by deeper I mean till like till this flat one. Okay, let me here we go. Okay, if we break, let me add it. That's it. If you break it downward, then we're expecting further bearish movement till this lower support zone. And meanwhile, as mentioned, for the bullish takeover from a long-term perspective, I want a daily candle close above an aggressive one above 0.003. That's it for TEL.